Hi, welcome to Clutter Bravado.
Yes, and it's the energy. It's not just about the stuff.
So we should probably just get into it, right?
Let's go.
Good morning, Laurent.
Good morning, Elyse.
Happy 1 year.
I know. It's a crazy concept. A year of a podcast.
A year of a podcast. Let's reflect. How do you feel the last year has gone?
From that crazy idea that you brought, when was that? So it was in June last year, right? That you came up and you said, hey, I'd like to start a podcast. I'm like, yeah, that sounds, I genuinely love the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was a great idea to, support our community, to, for you to learn. But then I was like, would you? And I thought that you would ask me to, lend you the place, the apartment. And I was like, yeah, that's great. Be my guest. And then he was like, well, would you co-host? And I was kind of surprised because I'd never been on camera before. But I went with it. I don't know why. Maybe your smile. I don't know. I was like, oh, all right.
Are you saying I charmed you into this?
You charmed me into it. I was like, oh, okay. And it's been a magical experience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Magical. Okay.
It's been a magical experience. It's been a magical experience to work with you and learn something new. It's like, and we're winging it, and the cameras, you editing. We're a huge team of two.
A huge team of two.
And
yeah.
you do the editing, and you figured out the sound, and we are doing. So that part is fun because you're figuring something out.
Mm-hmm.
Be it the marketing side of it, the trying to, and then there are guests.
Yes.
Which I'm so grateful to know all those people, to call a lot of them dear friends, for them to have shown up on really just, faith, to have taken that time out of their day.
Yeah.
Because all of them are busy. Some of them drove from far to be with us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's reflecting. It's a shit ton of gratitude.
Yeah.
And something that I'd never, thought I would be doing. So,
It's interesting because in looking back at how many episodes we've done, this is episode 49. And that means that we've had over 40 guests. We've had more than 45 guests. And in the beginning, it was kind of cool because we were doing 2 a day.
yeah.
And I think back to that now that I'm like, wow, we were really loaded with with a lot of work, and we got really ambitious really fast. And one thing that I really appreciate, though, is that the guest experience that they have whenever they come on the show, and how much the two of us really care about making sure that everyone's having a good time when they're here, but how gracious and incredible of a host you are. So we talk about this on every episode, but we do lunch for every guest.
Yeah.
And you're cooking lunch for every guest. You're in the beginning, they were a little bit, they were
Fancier.
like 4 courses. Yeah. It was a little ambitious at the beginning, but, and I remember one of the first that we did was with Jaime Rummerfield and Ada Legaspi. So we had them both over in the same day to interview them. And you made the tomato sorbet for the first time that I'd seen it, that I'd ever had it. And it was one of the most intricate dishes. It took you 2 days to prepare it. And I loved just how much love and care you put into it. It was really admirable. And now, obviously, we're still putting a lot of work in for the lunches and still making them really nice, but it's a little different.
It's a little bit more French brasserie. Yeah, it's a French lunch for sure.
Yeah, a little bit more of a chicken
family.
and vegetables. Yeah. But it's still something that we continue to do, and there is something that's really, really valuable about that, and the way that you build relationships with other designers and with people that are in the industry. We talk about this on the show. It is really one of our core missions, and one of our principles is to create a really solid network within the design industry, but also with people that are interested in it. And that's why we have the show in the first place. You know, we put a lot of work into building community and into making people feel comfortable here. And if you're listening to this, you're a part of the community. Like, you're why we're doing this. You listening to this, you are the most important part of the show. And we wouldn't be able to do it without you. So thank you for that. And also, I hope that sometime you get to come over and have lunch. Well,
Why
you know
not?
what? We should probably do that at some point and have like a little giveaway where we can invite a frequent listener
To come and have
hang out.
lunch?
Yeah, to come have lunch.
Um,
Because I'm sure that they are dying to try it. We talk about your food all the time and how incredible it is. So yeah, we should do that. Let's put it in the
Put it in the to-do list or the
on the to-do
universe.
list. Yeah, put it out there. Have we ever talked about how we met?
I don't think we have, no.
I don't think we have either.
No.
Because I mentioned that I was working for a designer, but you and I met at an apparatus party. And this was an event that I was sent off to on my own, with the purpose of networking on behalf of the designer I was working for. But she wasn't there. I knew no one there. No one there knew her. No one there knew me. I just walked into this room full of incredibly successful designers that I had seen their work in AD and seen their work online, but I had never met them. And my goal was to just give out some business cards and meet some people and mingle. And I think before the pandemic, I was a lot more outgoing. I was a lot more of an extrovert, where that would have been something that I would feel comfortable doing. And in this situation, I was so uncomfortable. So and the only person there that I knew, there was like one designer that I had met before. And I said, hi. And she cold shouldered me like so hard. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so uncomfortable. I don't know anybody here. And it was packed.
Uh-huh.
It was packed.
It was busy.
This was also, I believe, it was either the first week of March or the last week of February.
I think it was the last week of February when they reopened their showroom.
That's right.
After the renovation.
Yes, that's right. And it was packed. There was no room. You couldn't walk through. And I started hyperventilating. I had this moment where I was like, what am I doing here? I feel so uncomfortable. And I just like said that like little like mental prayer almost, where I'm just like, please get me out of here. And as I'm like having this moment where I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to navigate through the room, there is one man who makes eye contact with me, and that was you. And you turned to your side to let me pass, just saying like, oh, you can come through this way. And it just so happened that you were talking to a friend of mine that I've known for like 9 years, who is Justin Ware, we talk about a lot on this show.
Mm-hmm. Big fan
of his. And we've also actually on our Instagram, we interviewed him for Avenida Atelier too. The two of you had been in conversation. And you're like, I'm like, oh my God, Justin, hi, how are you? And he's like, oh, have you met Laurent? And I hadn't met you. And so this was the first conversation that you and I had. And I found that conversation completely settled me down, where I'm like, okay, I have an anchor in this room. There is somebody here that I know. And getting to know you from there, you know, you invited me to a couple of parties and then to a lot of design events so that I would feel more included and feel more a part of the community. And that's something that you do so beautifully. You do it so well.
It was, yeah. I believe in community. I believe that the more we exchange ideas, the more we exchange, I don't know how to say it without being like, whoa, but the energy. But I think that, getting to know you, I mean, obviously it led to something that was, that's truly surprising. But, working with Justin, I mean, I met Justin, for example, through outside of the industry, now we do work constantly together.
Yeah.
We interviewed Kendall Wilkinson. I've known Kendall for 30 years.
Yeah.
We have known her kid. It's like, there's just a love and work and exchange and growth that happens when you put people together in a room. And that night you met me, I was with Edel and Chris, I was with Justin. That, you know, all of us were there, and I just love our community. I mean, I
Yeah.
genuinely, you know, someone like Edel and Chris and their beautiful daughter. It makes me happy when I see them. Genuinely makes me happy. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Ron and Jaime Rummerfield and Ron Woodson are two people that I cherish, and have fun with, and we've done work together. And so yeah, you joining us, I didn't know where, you know, I mean,
Did you guess that you were going to be doing a
doing a
podcast for a
podcast?
year?
No,
Yeah.
no, but absolutely not. But you know, you were. It was really fun, and you know, you had the great energy, and you had all the excitement of discovering a new industry, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And it has been fun because you've learned a lot over the last year and a half,
I have.
being among us, and that's been fun.
That's something actually. So I've been listening back to some of our older episodes. It's important for me to see the evolution and how that
Right.
all sort of like how we've grown from the beginning. And Jaime Rummerfield was, I believe, our second episode.
I think so. Yeah.
And in that episode, if you go back and listen to it, which I highly recommend that you do because she's brilliant. But something that I noticed about my performance in that episode is that there were a lot of things that she talked about that I did not know. And rather than, and I think that I kind of did the audience a little bit of a disservice by not like prodding and asking more questions for clarity as a beginner. I wanted to kind of see like, oh yeah, no, I know who that is. I know what that is. I know who that is. And I didn't. But what's amazing is I go back and I listen to it now after having done the interviews and having been in the industry for this past year. Now I'm like, okay, yes, I actually do understand everything that she's talking about. I know of the architects that she mentioned, and she's such a brilliant historian. And there's so much to learn from her and from the work that she does. And I highly recommend doing a bit of a deep dive into Jaime Rummerfield and Save Iconic Architecture. But also start with that episode because it's great. It's full of information. It's full of history. It's a lot of really great stories. And so I think that might be one of my favorite episodes that we've done.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I know that this. Yeah.
And just like going back and listening to it again. Have you like listened to any of our older episodes again?
No, I should probably go back because
Yeah.
it's, you know, this morning you mentioned that we had done we had recorded the 2 episodes back to back with Jimmy and Edel, and we had lunch. I totally forgotten about it.
Really?
Yeah, and that's so I probably should listen to them.
Oh
again.
yeah, hop back in. It's worth it for sure. And also, there were other episodes that we did very shortly thereafter, like Thomas Hayes. We had Thomas Lavin, and they're just such great, beautiful interviews to start off with. And I think that I didn't really have an idea of just how strong the gravitational pull is to those people that we had in the beginning and how monumental they are in the design industry in Los Angeles. I was just meeting them for the first time. But now that we have had so many guests come on and all of them are referencing, like, for example, Kevin Kolanowski in our last episode said that he got his start because of Thomas Lavin.
Yeah.
That Fuse Lighting exists because of Thomas Lavin. And we had Thomas on in our, in the first 6 episodes. I think maybe he was episode 7 now that I think about it. But right away in the beginning. And what a gift that is that we got to really, I guess, explore the histories of these people that were really the tastemakers in LA when it comes to interior design and art, but also just how influential everyone has been on each other, that there are all of these moments of these touch points that everyone sort of has within the same community. I think that that's really special. And I feel like we've been really lucky to be able to explore that. And
I mean, the other part I absolutely loved was going to San Francisco and interviewing people up there at the D'Souza Youth Showroom in San Francisco. I loved doing that. And I love when we did it in front of an audience. I think that might have been a really cool thing. I'd like to do that again.
I want to put this out there. I definitely want to do that more. We need to do more live interviews.
Yeah.
We need to do more live.
But
it was such a great time.
Being back up there and interviewing, Tineka and Jay and John de la Cruz, who, same thing. I met John in 1994. It was such a fun thing for me to do. So yeah, I can't wait until we can go back up and there are a few candidates up there that we need to get to interview because I really want to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the interesting thing is that you started. So the start of the podcast, to summarize it, is that you wanted to stay in the business, learn
Yes.
about the industry, find your niche in the design industry because you really genuinely liked it. I was supporting you. I was, in some ways, I was like, well, it's going to get me to see, some of my dear friends and have them come over and I'll make lunch because that's what I do. I get people by the stomach. And so that was it. I was not really thinking too hard on what it was going to look like. And probably if you had told me at that time, in a year, I'd be like, well, let's do a few, huh? And now I find that it's such an important part of my week. B, that it's growing into something that is an important part of our community. Mm-hmm. I also think that we're lucky that we are surrounded by so many creatives in Los Angeles and California as a whole. I've been living in California since 1994. Mm-hmm. I love the state. In a world where the news are not great, I'm so grateful to be living in California. Mm-hmm. And I want our little podcast, for the coming year to be like a voice for artists and creatives. And when I say creatives, obviously designers, artists, but, chefs, people in the music or, even TV that are artists. I don't know. I want to give a little bit of a voice to the creative, the happy, the passionate people in our life.
I agree. Speaking of people in the entertainment industry, we do have a few guests that are going to be coming on in the next few weeks, which I'm very, very excited about. And talking a little bit more about how Hollywood affects the lifestyle of being in Los Angeles, of being in California, whether that's in entertainment industry in general. But in film, in music, in television, I have a dear friend who's a set decorator and just staging, and she's someone who's really, really fascinating that I'm really excited that we definitely need to have on. And I have another friend also who is sort of behind the scenes and also on stage as a musician and in the music journalism scene. And I feel like branching more into entertainment, it's talking about the lifestyle of being in LA. You cannot talk about the LA lifestyle without bringing up entertainment. It is such a core element of what we are here. And for the majority of people who are doing interior design, a lot of their clients are going to be people who are in the entertainment industry, who have a real root there. And that may have been what allowed them to buy their first house, it's this special sort of American dream that happens specifically in Los Angeles. And I think that staying away from that is more detrimental than it is to really just tell the story. And also it's really fun and fascinating.
And again, I think that what I've discovered through doing the podcast and listening to our friends is the passion that people have for their crafts. Yes. And I've met a few of your friends who are artists, which is not really a field that I knew much about. And I fell in love because they're passionate.
Yeah.
And the same passion that we exhibit, by finding new pieces or, silly things, but making a house look great. We take it very seriously, and they have the same. I saw the equivalent, that fight and that creativity. That I don't know. LA is fantastic, and we have a friend. We have a friend, someone we know, who is a lawyer and just recorded her first EP.
Yes. Right? That's right. Yeah.
She's so happy. She's so excited, and that uplifts me.
Yes.
That makes me want to be a better guy, because when I see someone like that who sends us the song and is genuinely pumped about what she's doing. I just, I feel like the world is a better place.
You know what's interesting in LA? This is also a very specifically LA thing.
Right, probably.
Which is that you, for example, antique dealer, furniture designer, also chef and boxer. Okay, we don't have enough time.
We don't have enough time
We
to
don't
go
have
down
enough
the
time
list.
to talk about it. But I want to talk about a 360 moment that I had. Hi, this is Elyse from Clutter Bravado podcast. Clutter Bravado is an independent podcast, and as any independent artist will tell you, getting off the ground is a little challenging. If you like what you're hearing, please like, comment, share, subscribe, support us in any way that you can on the platform where you're listening. And follow us on Instagram at Clutter Bravado for exclusive clips, events, and giveaways. We quite literally could not do this without your continued support. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for listening. Tell your friends, and please follow and subscribe so that you can be the first to have access to our latest episodes. Now, back to the show. So when I first moved to Los Angeles in 2015, I came out here to work at a salon and to model. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't have an agency yet. I was just sort of like flying by the seat of my pants, getting whatever like modeling jobs I could. But on my first day in LA, I started working at a salon doing eyelash extensions. And I love doing lashes. It was really fun. I did it for a very long time. I still kind of do it here and there for a couple of clients who are my friends because it's a fun thing to do. And it's something that I'm good at. So I had one of my first clients in LA was this woman. She's so beautiful. She's so creative. She's also extraordinarily tall. So I just loved her because I'm also tall. I love tall women. But she was really supportive of me at the beginning. You know, she like anything that I was working on, she was curious about. And I did her lashes for probably 5 or 6 years, I think. And it was on and off here and there, but she was so creative. She was making things. She makes her own clothes and she makes these beautiful jewelry and accessories and things like that. And I had just been wondering, like, whatever happened to her? Actually, there are pictures of her on my like eyelash website. Like I've always been using her. Yeah, still. I've been using her as like my model because she's beautiful. So you and I are in Laguna Beach this past weekend for the Hawk & Co. studio opening launch party. It's like this beautiful party that Summer Jensen from Hawk & Co. put on. And it was such a gift to be invited. It was an extraordinary event.
A great experience.
And it was in Laguna Beach. And I am talking to somebody else that we met there. And I think Cesar Giraldo, who we also interviewed when we were in Palm Springs.
I know.
Yeah. So in conversation, and I look around and I see this tall, beautiful woman that looks so familiar to me. And it's Paloma, one of my first eyelash clients that I had when I moved to Los Angeles. I've known her for 10 years. And she's like, wait, what are you doing here? I'm like, what are you doing here? And she is married to the founder or the owner of Plant Daddies. They have a beautiful daughter, and their family was just hanging out at this event. Summer had invited them because they're the Plant Daddies, of course. But to have this beautiful like 360 moment where I'm finding myself in a room with someone that I've known for 10 years, very similarly to how I met you.
Right.
Yeah, through Justin.
Through Justin.
And I didn't know Justin through design. I don't know Justin through what he does, just like socially. And I didn't know Paloma through anything that she does, or, you know, I just knew her because I was doing her eyelashes. And here we are in a completely different space in life, both of us, in completely different areas in our lives. But we have this connection, and we ended up spending most of the weekend with her and her family and the rest of the Plant Daddies crew. And I love that. I love that those connections that you have and that you maintain over years, they transform into other things. So, for example, with you and John De La Cruz, you worked in a restaurant together. Mm-hmm. And now you're both big names in interior design, him in San Francisco and you here. And that's so special. that you can maintain those connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of those. I mean, you'll see as you get younger, you build this relationship, and it is really fun. Talking about that, this weekend, I want to mention Hawk and Co. and Summer Jensen. We went to that event. We are so grateful. We don't do that. Obviously, living for the weekend is not something that, you or I do. And and she was so kind. She threw the most amazing event with the most amazing people. We got to hang out by the ocean in Laguna Beach. It was on Sunday. It was just truly magical.
Truly magical.
And we met some really cool people.
I have to say that event, and I don't like to pick favorites.
No, don't pick favorites. It was a great event.
It was spectacular.
It was spectacular.
It was a wonderful, and for it to be a full weekend, 2 events. You have Saturday night and Sunday afternoon, and it was truly perfect. It was such an incredible group of people, and like you said, Summer was so generous with what she offered when it came to food, when it came to entertainment.
And unbelievable.
And it was also a really great opportunity to celebrate Summer and how far she's come and what she's doing next and what the future of her career looks like. And I'm really truly invested in hoping that she succeeds. Like, I want her to do so well, seeing her so excited and so happy, and just seeing how many people are supporting her. Her whole family was there, and it was really, really special. And with things like that, when you bring people together that don't otherwise know each other, like there's one person that everybody knows, and then you get to create this new community. I feel like we really had the opportunity to do that over the weekend, where now I feel so much more connected to her, obviously, but then to a lot of the other people that are in her orbit. And yeah, I definitely hope to have a handful of them on the show. I am.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And you're going to be hearing more about the Plant Daddies from us, because I'm obsessed with them. They are so great. They're so great. We had such a great time with them. Fascinating people. And they're so creative and so innovative and so fun. There's something that's really special about this like new crop of designers and creatives that are just getting launched and just really getting their footing. I mean, they've been around for like 5 years, but still,
yeah, barely.
In the grand scheme of things, yeah.
Again, young, creative, passionate about what they are doing. The 2 co-owners have known each other forever, and they're both California, raised. I don't know. There was some magic in the air. We saw Cesar, who as lovely as can be.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to have Summer also on the sofa.
Yes.
And the Plant Daddies for sure will have to do it around the dining table, I think, because it's a big crew.
It's a big crew, yeah.
But it's a fun crew. So yeah, that was a pretty incredible.
So lastly,
yes.
we're gonna wrap this up. I know you have a very busy day.
I do.
So we'll wrap this up. But I want to tell a little story about my way here today and pitch a little idea to you. Every day when I come here, I'm on the 101. Every single day.
It's such a nice drive.
And I'm on the 101 for, at least an hour a day, because it's about a half hour from the valley to Koreatown during rush hour twice a day. It's a lot. It's a lot of time that I spend on the freeway. But this morning, I fell in love a little bit on the freeway. I know. With, knock it off. With a street artist. There is this, I don't like to call it graffiti, so I'm going to call it street art. I'm not sure if they would call it something else, but there is such incredible art on the freeway. Have you noticed it? Do you ever pay attention to it? Because you see it and it's like, oh, you see somebody tagged something. But when you really look at the intricate detail, and there are a few artists that are getting really, really creative. And when you're going 15 miles an hour on the freeway, it turns the 101 into one of the best art exhibits that Los Angeles has to offer. And I am so ignited by it. I'm so interested in these artists that are using one of the biggest, I mean, it's a huge canvas.
Yes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can enjoy it.
A lot of people can. Now, technically, I think it's a crime, but that's silly because it really adds so much to the culture of LA. My commute would be so much more boring if it was just gray and painted flat, no color. And here we get these little cool details, these neat little vignettes that are happening when you have somebody who's creating these like wild little designs. When you see one for the first time, there's something that's really special about that. And there is an artist. I'm not going to drop their name yet because I really hope that I can get them on the show. And I might not be able to because technically what they do is a crime or whatever. But I'm really, really fascinated by a couple of artists that are creating very prolifically on the 101 freeway.
So you mentioned that this morning when
I
you
did.
got in. And my brain... So there's two things. I love street art. I always have. I think that, I mean, I told you the story. I had a shop in San Francisco that had a pediment that was facing the freeway, and there was a street artist that, you know, I painted it. The city made me repaint it, which, of course, 2 days later, someone was on my roof repainting the damn thing. So I was like, you know what? Let them do it. It's a lot better to have a super cool graffiti on that pediment than a bad paint job that I did with my guys, and then having someone go back up on there to repaint, to, you know, reuse it as a canvas, and creates also danger because you know, you're on a roof. It's not great. So I've always had that feeling that the city should leave graffiti artists use that thing. Now, there's tagging, which I don't like.
Okay.
You know, I think that tagging the front of a building with a shitty signature is, I don't know what it's about. I don't think it's great. I think that what you have on the freeway is a very different mode, you know, of using spray paint. It's art.
Yes.
Those kids, or be it men or women, are extremely talented. There are alleys in downtown LA that are truly works of art.
Absolutely.
A few people have approached, you know, the topic, the Olympics are coming to LA, and what is the city gonna be like? What do we stand for? What do we want to show the world about Southern California? And you know, and yeah, for me, when you talked, I was like, you know what? This is part of our culture.
Yeah.
Street art is part of our culture. We have some incredible artists, and that would be a fun conversation for people who listen to our podcast, because I'm sure that there's different point of view.
Yes, absolutely. This is an opportunity for you to share with us what you think and what your opinion on this is. Tell us in a comment, tell us in an email, clutterbravado@gmail.com. Do you think that street art is an art form that we should explore when it comes to the culture of Los Angeles, and whether that's something we should celebrate as a culture in Los Angeles, or it's something that needs to be painted over?
Yeah. And because, you know, when you mention it, how cool would it be to have the freeways really, an art gallery? I mean,
and let it be so colorful and tell a story and be fun, you know? I feel like there's something really, really special about the street artists that we have in LA. There are a couple that are so prolific and that were so well known just in their street art that their work is selling for millions and millions. And we have new people all the time. And this is going to tie into social media. Follow me here, okay? Using the 101 freeway as a place to build your audience is brilliant. If I could, I would just, I would go and tag Clutter Bravado all over the 101 if that would make people listen to it.
I mean, I think that's what the billboards were for. And,
exactly.
And obviously they've become a little too invasive. But the art is different. I mean, the billboards are purely, marketing, and the street art is just a genuine way to express yourself.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know. It's something that I'd like to have more to get more input, more point of views, and I'm really interested in it.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely explore that in this coming year. So is there anything specifically like you could put out there? What are you manifesting for year 2 of Clutter Bravado?
Well, I'm manifesting. We have a couple projects that we are working on right now for the podcast. I'm really excited about them. So I'm hoping that we've started one. So I'm hoping that we can get that going and do it consistently throughout the year. Because that, I think in a year, it would be, hell, if we had 10 of those.
God, that would be so cool, huh? Okay, we can't talk about it yet. We still can't talk about it.
But 10 of those would be spectacular.
Yes. We'll say it is very, very special episodes of Clutter Bravado.
And then expanding our audience and expanding our guests, and to be known as the podcast who loves California.
Oh, yeah.
What about you?
What am I manifesting for year 2? For year 2, definitely, we're growing the audience. We want more of you. And I also really want to create a tighter connection with the audience. I want you guys to feel like you're a part of us and you're a part of the community. That's something that's really, really, really important to me, and that I think would make this even more special for me as an editor and as a host, as a creative. I want to build that community and I want it to continue to grow. So I want everyone to feel like they're included. So that means I don't know how else to ask you. Comment, email us. Let me know who you are. Reach out to us. DM me. And honestly, if there's something that you really, really want to hear, I want you to hear it too. Let's do it. And if there's something that you're really tired of hearing, tell me that too. Give me all of your feedback. Any feedback that you have is always welcome. And again, we can't do this without you. So I want to say a huge thank you. If you're listening to this right now, your support means the most to us, and you're why we do this. And do you have anything else to add?
I think we are good to go for our next guest, which I'm really excited to have next week.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So next week, we'll meet again. In the meantime, have a beautiful day, and you have to get to work.
I have to get to work.
All right.
Let's go.
Clutter Bravado is filmed on location at the Kimberly Denman Showroom in Los Angeles, California. For inquiries about our furniture, a directory of our guests, or just to reach out with questions or comments, email us at clutterbravado@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Clutter Bravado. Thank you.